Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing an athletic shoe haul, which is quite divergent from anything that we normally do on here, but this may be the most important haul that I have ever done. So over the past year, I've lost over 50 pounds. I started out with some pretty major diet modifications and decided that it's about time to really start putting that exercise piece into it so then I can just like key it in and secret formula, you know? So since the beginning of July, I have taken a minimum of 10,000 steps a day. And you know what? I have results that I can see and I can feel. It's been pretty amazing. There's only one problem. My feet hurt. Oh my gosh, y'all, they hurt so bad. I've got some serious pain in my feet. It's awful. I actually lied about one problem. There are two problems. The other problem is, y'all, I wear a woman's size 12 shoe. So what I'm trying to say is I got a giant foot and it is hurting. Actually, both of them. I've got two giant feet. They both hurt and we got to do something about it. Size 12 in women's are really hard to find kind of out in the real world. So I'm hoping that it's Amazon try before you buy to the rescue. Hopefully, maybe, we'll see. What I've done is I have gone on so many different sites and looked at like top shoes for walking. What are the #1 ranked shoes for men walking? What are the #1 ranked shoes for women walking? And I've taken kind of like a compilation of all of those things and I've brought them to you. I have 7 awesome shoes that we're gonna try that are supposedly amazing. Every one of these shoes is in my size. And whether it's a women's size 12 or a men's size 10.5. So what I did is I ended up going onto Amazon and they have a try before you buy. I'd never used it before, but I know lots of friends that do. And what you do is you choose items in there, you add them to your cart, and then you have 7 days. My process to this is going to be to show them to you and then put you away for a few minutes and do about 500 steps in them in my house, that they're nice and fresh for the next person who gets them, and then choose which one's going to be best. I'll be using that one tonight on a walk because I don't think that my Asics have any life left in them. I will tell you that there is an advantage to going to a shoe store, but it is difficult whenever you're in an off size. The last time that I went into a shoe store, and it was a really kind of little boutique, that's what they did. They had a beautiful women's wall, a beautiful men's wall, everything separated out by, you know, the category of whether you're running or what have you. And so my daughter was there and she picked out some shoes and then I'm talking to the guy, right? And I was like, okay, well, I'm looking at some shoes for me, maybe these, and I kind of pointed at some navy or blackish shoes over here on the men's wall. Can you tell me about those? Are they good for whatever activity is listed up on the top? And he's like, whoa, 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 ma'am. Let me tell you, you need lady shoes, right? You need to go to the women's department. Okay, well, I appreciate that, but no, you don't understand. A woman's foot has totally different anatomy than a man's foot. Okay, gotcha. So really, for, you know, scientific purposes, you need the woman's shoe. Oh, okay, I totally get it. I'm all about science, right? I love talking about foot anatomy. So what size range do you carry in women's shoes? We got all of them, all of them. Oh, okay, you got, oh, that's awesome that you got them all, okay? So can you, that pink one right there, you have that one, I would like it in a size 12. 12, huh? Yeah, 12. You know what, I'll be right back.
10 minutes later.
So man, I was mistaken about that whole, all the sizes thing. Okay, yeah. So we only have a couple of 11s. You wanna try those? Nah, I'm good actually. Oh no, how about in the men? Okay, I'll take one of these in the navy. That's not an experience that I wanted to try again. So I thought, you know what, let me see what Amazon has. And here we go. So I'm gonna show you least expensive to most expensive. These are the Saucony, and I looked that up like 3 different times. Cohesion 14s, they're a lady shoe, and this is a size 12, and there's a lot of cushion in it. I mean, like I can really feel it. This is the least expensive option that I purchased. My daughter has some yellow Sauconys, and she loves them. In fact, when we go back, she would really like just the exact same shoe. She's got it in a bright yellow. They're totally her thing. So I'm gonna go try these on and we'll see what we think. These are the Saucony. This nice blue is ladies. It's got kind of that teal going with it. I think these are nice. They are a much tougher shoe. Now, The Cohesion, they were on a lot of the walking lists saying that they were excellent shoes. The Cohesions actually go up to a 16 now, so you can find the 14 for a little bit less expensive. On Amazon, these were $59. The MSRP was $75. I've seen them as low as $55, but there are limited sizes. So I think that they're good. They just feel very tough. I can tell how they said that there's like a Versa Run cushion technology. I can tell how it would probably be good whenever you have impact on them because that sole feels very rubberized, very nice, but they're a little bit snug in the toe box. I do have a wider foot and I can feel my toes just kind of being compressed in, and I think that that would get uncomfortable after a while. I did 500 steps. Now I do think in that like mid-range shoe, like definitely the under $100, they're very firm, kind of like the New Balance, but I like these better than the New Balance. They actually do have some shape to them where I feel like I might be a little bit more supported in different places. So for a $60 shoe, I think they're totally there, but I'm looking for like the most comfortable shoe. If I was in the market for something under $100, these might be the winners. I don't know, they'd be battling it out with the Brooks. Even though the Brooks are like barely skirting under 100. We'll get there though. Next, we have the Asics. These are super similar to my old Asics. You can see the Asics design on there. And you know, these shoes have been through a lot. I think I've gone to 2 Disney trips on them. I didn't walk a whole lot before, so they got occasional use, but they did kind of seem to do the job for me. I've had them for a long time and I thought, you know what, let's try some of the same. This is the Gel Cumulus 23 and I like the pattern. It is a man's shoe. You know, it does have kind of that, but I think that I would be happy to wear that, just as happy as I was my little gray and silver ones. And it also has a nice large foam, and that was something that I thought was good on the Asics that I currently had. My biggest problem with the Asics that I currently have are that they hurt here, and then I'm also having a lot of foot pain here, but I think that that's probably because the support has totally worn out. Let's try these and see how it works. So these that I have just tried on a little walk-in. So I was very familiar with the brand. I've worn them quite a bit. These are a men's size because I couldn't get Asics in a woman's 12, at least not through the Amazon Try Before You Buy program. So I'm taking about 500 steps in each shoe. And that first 100 steps, I was like, you know what? These feel very familiar. They feel comfortable, but more supportive. But the real issue that I have with them is that they are hurting after about 200-ish steps. They started hurting in the exact same place that my other Asics are hurting. Let me grab my shoe off for you. Right here on my right foot, for some reason, it just rubs, and my current shoe is just killing me. I thought it was because there was some compromising in the fabric part, but it really must be something to do with the design of the shoe. And it's only on this foot. I mean, the design of the shoe or the anatomy of my foot, but it doesn't matter. It's just obviously not right for me. I will say that had I just gone to a shoe store and tried these on and done the whole little walk and back and forth down the alley, I'd have been like, hey, you know what? These are great. Let's take them. So I'm kind of glad that I did have the opportunity to walk about 500 steps at home. You can see on the bottom, I didn't go outside or anything. So I feel comfortable sending these back, and these are gonna go back. I think they're probably a good shoe, but they're not the right shoe for me. My next is another ladies, and this is the Devotion 4+ by Rika. And this one had a lot of good reviews on power walking, is basically what it said, or fitness walking. And I liked the shape. You know, a long time ago, I used to go to jazzercise. I loved it. I actually had a high school teacher who was a jazzercise instructor, and she was the most amazing, dynamic woman ever. I adored her. I need to look her up. I haven't seen her in a while. She's a Facebook friend though, so I don't know. Toward the end of high school, I started doing some jazzercise, and then when I went to college, I did jazzercise here and there. And then whenever I came back before I had my daughter, I tried to get into it again. But the place, we've got like this great big jazzercise complex, and they sold Rikas there, and I thought that they were so cute. So many of the ladies wore Rikas, and they were never in my size. So this is actually a woman's size 12. It had great reviews for fitness walking, which is what I'm looking for, and then also like high intensity workouts. I'm interested to see how this guy does. I do have to say that I found these on a lot of lists, the Rika Devotion series. When I first put them on, I thought, wow, these are super comfortable. But after walking on them for a little bit, they kind of feel like I can feel each little spring inside them. And I know spring's not the right word, but whatever the shoe equivalent to spring is, that's what I'm feeling. It's like, as I feel my foot push down, I'm like, oh, I feel it here and here and here and here and here and here and here as I'm going down. And I think there's probably something neat about that, but with my weight and trying to distribute and trying to not make me feel my feet, it's not really what I'm looking for. Now, the Devotion series was praised for both like fitness walking and then high intense workout. I could really see how these would be great for high intensity workout. They kind of feel like they give you a push as you're, spring loading off of them. But for my longer distance, I don't know about long distance, but long distance for me, like previous Meredith would have been like, no, don't do it. For that, I don't think that these are the right shoe just because I'm feeling every step and that's not really what I'm looking for. Now these guys were about $80. They're really cute. They have like a pink to blue fade. They've got white on the top. They're a women's shoe, a size 12. And I really like the way that they look, but I don't think that the Rikas are what I'm looking for right now. All right, so this is the New Balance Fresh Foam Women's. I am excited to try this guy. It has a very nice large sole as well, but this one is a lot harder. It doesn't seem like it's got the squeeze that a lot of the others do. And then I think it's interesting because this back is like all kind of a foam material. It doesn't have, normally a heel kind of has a hard plastic thing in there. I mean, it could, but I'm not feeling it. So it's got an interesting design and it looks like you could easily pull this up. So I'm interested to try it. So these are some lady shoes. These are the New Balance Fresh Foam Roav, and they're a women's in a size 12W. So they are wide. They even have a little sticker on the side here that says that they're wide, just in case we don't believe them. They are very interesting. All right, let me show you the getting in process. So these don't have like a tongue that comes apart. It's just like one big hole so that your tongue can't move side to side. It's just stuck there. So it's gonna stay, but getting your foot in there is the issue. This is like a spring-loaded little bungee type shoestring. I had a bungee type shoestring on my other shoe. It wasn't the best, but I think that these are gonna be a little better since we've got like an elastic situation all around. Now this does not give a whole lot of stretch. And let me tell you, walking on these was fine. I didn't feel any pain. I did my full, this one I did like 550 steps and I didn't really feel the shoe at all. So I think that the Fresh Foam is actually referring to this part in the back and there was literally no rubbing. Now, let me tell you about the sole. It kind of reminds me of like a really firm mattress. Definitely a whole lot of support going on, but not a lot of comfort. This is a very utilitarian situation going on in the bottom. The support is good, especially being heavy. I'll have that constant support. I'm not worrying about like messing up any of that support, but I kind of, for like a $90 shoe, want just a little bit more comfort. So I'd like to have the comfort meet the support somewhere in the middle. New Balance is definitely an option. I kind of like this Fresh Foam. I think this back is really neat. You kind of have the little shoehorn situation going on here. You can pull up if you're having some struggles getting it on because let me tell you, it was a little bit of a challenge, like I said, getting my foot in there. But I do like it. I also like that because it is a lady shoe, we got some pretty purples going on. If you're looking at me from behind, I got some purples mixed with a little green, some pink in there. And then we're thinking about the ladies. And I truly do not often get ladies sneakers in ladies colors. So that's a plus. A minus is that maybe it just felt a little, I don't know that too supportive is the right word, but maybe not quite comfortable enough. All right, so next we have the Brooks. It's the Revel 6. And I think that this shoe is beautiful. Like I would absolutely pick this out if I was at a shoe store and it was available in my size. So this is a women's, it's obviously a size 12 and it's got this pink outside and this super awesome light green inside. When I was planning my daughter's nursery many, many years ago, she is a teenager, I was trying to decide between like pink and light green or blue and brown. And I ended up going with blue and brown because I wanted it to be able to be used for future babies, which we only ended up having one. So this is where I would have gone had I been able to read the future. All right, these Brooks are really cool. They feel different than any other shoe that I'm walking on. It's like they hold me up and instead of feeling my feet the whole time I'm walking, I feel like I'm concentrating on standing up straight. Like I feel like they are going to improve my posture, which I don't know, that might be a reason to get them. But my mom would love these shoes, especially my mom of me, my entire childhood. Hey mom. But I really, really like them. I mean, there's nothing that I feel that's rubbing. There's nothing that I feel is uncomfortable. I honestly just don't really feel these shoes at all. Pair that with the fact that literally never in my adult life have I owned a pink pair of shoes. Like, even if I wanted one, I've never been able to find one. I was just talking to my daughter about them. She thought they looked really neat, and that they've got a reverse watermelon thing going on, like the good stuff outside and then the rind inside. But let me tell you, the good stuff's inside too, because there's some kind of magic happening here. So these are the Brooks Rival 6, and they're the Energized Neutral. I don't know a whole lot about the different Brooks models, but Rival was definitely one that was recommended to me. I believe Ghost was also, but I couldn't find that in my size. And so I decided to go with the Rival, but I really like them. I like the way that they look. I like the way that they fit. Like I said, it's not like they're super comfortable. I don't feel like I'm walking on clouds. I don't feel like just soft and enveloped, but boy, I don't feel like I'm walking on shoes. And I think that would be an awesome thing to go on a walk and not have to like feel my feet because right now, girls, I'm feeling them. Okay, next we have my brother's favorite brand, and this is the Hoka. He's been telling me I should get Hokas for years. This is the Bondi, and look at that. That is a lot of shoe. Like half the shoe is the sole down here. So I'm hoping that this bad boy is gonna be like walking on air. It does have stellar reviews for walking and running. I cannot wait to try this on. These are the Hoka Bondi 8s, and they're in men's. These are super bright, super orange, and let me tell you, they are amazing, like so incredibly comfortable. Now there's a huge price jump from the previous group. These are like $165, whereas the highest price over there were the Brooks. And so I think that the only fair thing to do is to actually now create two categories, because I think that these probably blow all of those out of the water, but I think there was a clear winner when it came to the under $100, even though Brooks are just barely under $100. Call the Brooks our winner of the under $100. And now we're gonna look at the Hoka and the On Cloud. Okay, so y'all, I walked around and without even like thinking about it, I walked an extra 100 steps. I was just talking to my husband and walking. They have a foam cushion. I do feel like they're just kind of surrounding my feet. I feel supported and I feel comfortable, which is an amazing combination, because previously I've had the like support that was super hard, and then I also had the soft that didn't feel quite comfortable enough. And I do feel some motion in here, but they're not quite like the Rikas, where I felt the motion, but I felt like that spring action thing that I knew would end up hurting my feet. I just feel like some superb support over here. I don't know what I think about the like super yellow orange, but at the same time, my family thinks it's amazing. And so, yeah, I think that I could stop now. Like, in all honesty, if I was at the store and I was like, hey, yeah, go ahead and hand me the men's, I'll take them. I probably would have put them on and said, you know what, this is all I need to do. Let's go ahead and go. And after walking, I felt even better. So I do want to probably go back and try those Brooks, because the Brooks did something with my posture that I don't even understand. And so most likely if I end up getting two pairs of shoes, I'll get the Brooks and then I'll get one of these. I haven't tried the On Cloud, but the Hokas were pretty awesome. Lastly, and this is the most peculiar one to me. So the brand is On, and this is the Cloud 5. This is a men's. The women's doesn't go up to a 12, but this is an incredibly small, incredibly streamlined shoe. This bottom part almost feels like plastic. It reminds me a lot of like a spin shoe, because it's hard. My sister-in-law goes to a really kind of fancy little gym, and she said that a lot of people there wear it, and she's gotten these On Clouds, and my brother has just ordered some. So I'm interested. I mean, it is so incredibly light, and it is Swiss engineered. So we'll have to see. I'm about to try it on, and I hope that the price reflects the comfort. I hope that the comfort reflects the price. last but certainly not least, especially if we're talking dollars, these are the On brand, and this is the Cloud 5. These are actually men's shoes. Now, I do have to say that whenever I first took these out, I thought, my goodness, they are hard plastic. They kind of remind me of a Tesla. If you've ever gotten into a Tesla, it's very streamlined, super modern, and that's kind of what the On Cloud 5 reminds me of. I took about 1,000 steps in these because I really wanted to feel them out. And I'm not feeling my feet in a negative way at all, but I am more aware of them. They don't feel quite as cushioned and soft. I mean, the Hokas felt like I was, I don't know, on a trampoline, or while I was walking, my feet were on a big lush bed, you know, with lots of down pillows surrounding me. And these just kind of feel like my feet, but better. So I don't really know which direction I'm going, and I don't really think that either of those is a negative direction, but they are very difficult to choose from. I might even have to walk in them both a little bit more. I can tell you that I am very clearly going to choose one of these, and I'm not sure right now which one's gonna win. I'm kind of leaning toward the Hoka, but these On Clouds have a lot for them. The biggest reason that I'm leaning away from these, because I didn't really talk about that, is that my foot is very wide and I really feel it. I'm gonna take this guy off. I'm really feeling it right here, which is where my foot hurts the most. And I worry that after a good amount of time that'll amplify. So these also have these little running laces, and a lot of times I feel like they loosen up. Like in the New Balance, I felt like they could get loose. These are super tight. They hold my foot very securely. So I think that I probably couldn't go wrong with either of these shoes, but I've got some decision making ahead of me. You see how this is like a super hard rubber sole? It really reminds me a lot of a spin shoe. All right, so you know what? To recap, I think that we're looking at these shoes, and my top two, looking at my below $100, are definitely the Brooks in my lower tier. And then my top, I think it's gonna be the Hoka, but the On really have a lot going for them. So y'all let me know what you think. And one thing I do want to say is I'm not really pushing one of these shoes. We all have totally different feet. I have a super wide, super big foot, especially for a lady foot. And you know what? That's fine. But what I do highly recommend, and I didn't talk about it enough in this video, is the Amazon Try Before You Buy. I was able to get these. I actually have these guys due back tomorrow. And so but I have these 7 shoes in my house, and I highly recommend that. I don't feel like I get enough out of trying a shoe on at a shoe shop and, to just like go up and down the aisle a couple times and see how it feels. That's not really enough for me. I think that having them at home, even though I did it all in one evening, being able to get that good amount of walking inside so that I keep them new for whoever else is wearing them was incredibly helpful. So my recommendation to you, absolutely, if you are interested in what I had to say about any of these shoes and you think, ooh, you know what, I'm actually looking for something softer, let me try the Hokas or let me try the Brooks. I want something that's going to improve my posture possibly, so I'm looking at the Brooks, or I want something that's a little more firm, so I'm gonna go with the Saucony, or I'm gonna go with that New Balance, so let me try those out. Then get those on Try Before You Buy. So Amazon gives you 7 days to check them out. If you don't like anything, you send it back. And if there's something that you love, then you keep that and you purchase it. So I think either way, the Amazon Try Before You Buy is a win. Hopefully we've got some better walking days in the future. Here's to 10,000 steps a day.